hard we work for one another, but it has to be really hard. And so yeah, we try to make that emphasis today. We really wanted to see him explode and push off it and make him feel comfortable doing that. So he looked great doing that. So we anticipate him getting back into this.
Jalen Collins gets a nice play.
He certainly did. Jalen did make some plays on the ball, and we really wanted to see him battle. We played him both outside and in nickel, but he's really done a good job. I think in the last 2 days, he's jumped out to me the finish, the end of the plays, the reach that he has to go quick. So we're just keep looking for those matchups, but I was pleased what we've seen through the first 3 days.
Like we were talking about before, are you seeing a little bit more tenacity or hunger after the special
just through the evaluation of the offseason, we said, you got to go for it. You know, we want to see a finish on plays and challenge. You've got the speed, you've got the length, now allow all that stuff to come through. So last offseason, he didn't go through with this because he had foot surgery. So we challenged him right from the beginning of the offseason and how good you can get at playing your technique. So it's been nice to see him really jump in here to training camp with a lot of urgency. He's in a good place, and he's really working that hard.
Coach, you look like Alex Mack is favoring his left knee. Is there anything to that? Not that I'm aware of.
I guess more that battling, especially the world that he lives in, but nothing that
he was trying to stretch it out.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. He really takes great care of his body, so I anticipate him to do that. If there's anything there, I'll let you know.
What do you think about the edge pressure? What do you think about the edge pressure today coming off the end? Edge pressure.
The edge pressure. Well, it's something I'm going to evaluate each day. There'll be highs and lows on all the stuff that we're going. So the one-on-ones I'm looking at, that was our first day of pads. And when we do it in a 5-on-4 group, that's really when I want to see it dig in, because we're not going to get near the quarterback. So I was pleased in terms of the get-off that I saw. It's something that we're looking at hard every day. We're going to keep digging on that tower.
I'm sure you're already addressed this, but when do you want to be able to get back out there and put up capacity? I mean, it's all those things, but when do you want to get back out there?
Right. He's fit and knows it well, so I'm not going to rush it, but I think it'll be sooner than later. I don't have a necessarily, it has to be by tomorrow or it has to be by Tuesday, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't tomorrow or Tuesday. But I don't have that date in mind to say it has to be by Tuesday. I think it'll be pretty quick because he really pushed it an individual day. That's what the general, kind of return to play. Then you make full speed cuts. Okay, then I'm good doing that. Then we take the next step, and I'll generally probably go like half the reps and then back to the
What's your evaluation on Keanu?
The question was, what's the evaluation on Keanu? I think he's off to a good start. It was nice to see him match up with all the tight end matchups that we could get today. We know the physicality that he brings. I think that part of his game will now come more to life and now in more padded practices. But more importantly, the learning right now is what's taking place for him, and he's working extremely hard at it in the first.
Which one is your biggest surprise on the tackling fundamentals so far right now?
Which one's the biggest surprise? Which player?
On the attacking fundamentals, how you went back to?
I'd say probably the linebackers as a unit have really embraced the teaching. Coach Olbrich, their linebacker coach, is the one who I think is an expert teacher at it. So I think that group between him and Marquand Manuel, the linebackers and defensive backs, they work at it every single day. The strike zone hits, the leverage tackling. So I'd say those two groups in specific are the ones that are gaining the most from it.
Dan, how comfortable are you with Matt Job behind Matt in that quarterback position?
Yeah, he's really come through a number of times, both in OTAs, mini camp, and then the throws that he makes. And I think you saw one excellent one on the first day to Freeman. He's also got a real coolness about him. When the pressure's on, you can kind of look at it and smile and say, all right, here's what we're going to do. And that's an assuring feeling, knowing that that's an important job for us. And couldn't be more thrilled that Matt's being here with us.
Tevin mentioned a lot about how he's learned, especially on Tevin Coleman. He mentioned a lot about how he's learned how to approach camp, how to take care of his body a little bit more. Have you seen him approach things differently now?
Talking about Tevin Coleman, I don't think I've seen the change just at training camp. I think it was the energy he brought in through the entire off-season program. There's a life about him when you're around him and the energy that he brings. So the balance that we have there, it's awesome, but it's that energy that he brings each day. I'm sure the second time you go through it, myself included, there's lots of experience that he gains. You have some expectations, yes.
How do you feel about the competition underneath Julio? Obviously, spotlight's on Muhammad, but how do you feel about the other guys?
Yeah, Muhammad for sure. I thought had a nice day today. Had some good catches. Hardy for sure. Aldridge Robinson's one that we're certainly looking at. He's also in that spot. So that competition, between Hardy, Sanu, behind who that group, they're digging hard. And those would be a few that jumped out to me.
And how important it is for your defensive, once that running back or wide receiver gets past, once you stop him, to try to strip and make that turnover when they have him held up.
And that part of our practice, we're fortunate that these two running backs, when they get out on the perimeter, they're a handful. They're going to test you every single way. And that's both Devontae and Tev, and more to that effect too. Like, he can full speed cut, and so that's the kind of training that we need. We've got to go battle against guys who can play in space. So much of our game is that way now. When you play zone defense, you're going to be in space. You better be able to close and do that with some demeanor. So now that our pads are here, that physicality, that shoulder punch that we'll put with it, all that starts to come to life.
Did you like what you saw with the red zone, in the red zone drills?
I did, and more than anything, it was just an opportunity as it got close. Let's see where it goes. It's a 4th and 1 opportunity, and I was hoping that would script. Sometimes as a coach, I can cheat a little bit and make it happen. Other times, those ops come, and I was going to put some pressure on. And the last one, again, it was like a 3rd down and 9 play, and Shab hit a nice rip inside, I think, to Fuller for the touchdown. So it was a good battle for it. We're going to do a lot of work this year in the red zone.
You've talked about restricting and tackling to the ground before the first game, of course. You see a couple players when things get intense go down.
That's the part of like learning how to balance against one another. And we showed the video this morning in terms of this is a good technique, this is a bad one, and I'll continue to go through that. So we can practice really hard, really fast, and we're just kind of pushing it right at that limit where you got to go full speed, but you got to be under control too. And some of them don't understand that balance yet. And the hardest for is the rookies to know, like, all right, man, the speed just ramped up, the physicality ramped up, and I still got to be in control. So that's a learning process that goes on during this camp. And so as the first day, we'll go back in, look at it, and in our afternoon meeting, that'll be a big focal point.
What have you seen out of Brooks in the middle spot?
The question regarding Brooks, number one, he's in terrific shape. He's lighter than he was a year ago, so I think the speed, the quickness of what I was hoping to see has been there. We've worked on that hard. He's talked about it a bunch, so I'd say his speed and quickness is the biggest difference. I see him off the edge in 2016 compared to 2015.
All right, good go.
Anybody else? All right, thanks, guys. Have a
Thanks,
great
Coach.
afternoon. See you tomorrow.